Karnataka State Committee of All India Save Education Committee has taken an initiative to organize an educational convention at Gandhi Bhavan where three cabinet ministers and many eminent educationalists participated to give their suggestions to evolve an education policy for Karnataka which is pro-people. Their call is for a people's education policy.
Primary Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa expressed his commitment to a state education policy opposing the NEP and advocating for a child-centric approach. He emphasized the revision of textbooks as the first step in the interest of children.
We are going to be against NEP and then we will have our own policy in the interest of children, for students, for their studies. And we have started that process already. And during this process, even textbook revision, everything, whatever was in my limits, which I have already started. So same thing, I want to take a larger opinion of a lot of people so that, pros and cons, everything should be fine. And we can't keep changing and having a comment on this, which is too much of pressure on children also. So I think that process has already started. But this is
with the stakeholders.
Yeah, with the stakeholders, people like this, I mean, who are technically qualified, might be, they'll give more inputs for us also. But it's a long process, and with our officers also, and we'll make a nice team also. We have to make a committee with the approval of our Honorable CM. It will be a pro students and pro for their future, because it is our children's, it is our responsibility, and we know very well that we have to take this responsibility in their interest, because their interest, their future is our country and our state and our country's future.
On the occasion, Minister for Higher Education MC Sudhakar discussed the government's policy making, aiming for a balanced approach that considers both people and students' needs while preserving cultural values.
Basically, there is a lot of debate and people are concerned about the National Education Policy 2020, which was brought by the Government of India. And it was hurriedly implemented in the state of Karnataka. So, a lot of issues were there, like various aspects, and as far as curriculum is concerned, and trying to distort the history and trying to incorporate personal agendas and trying to spoil the young minds with various unrelated and uncertified issues. Because there should be some substance and some acceptance to it. So we are going through a lot of deliberations since 2 months, and we are going to bring in a change. So we can't do it hurriedly like the way they did. So we are going to go with the proper direction, and proper intention is there to make it inclusive, and it should have that secular fabric.
The Secretary of AISEC, Rajashekar VN, said that the decision by the Karnataka government of scrapping NEP and introducing Maru Sinchana is set to reshape the future of education in the state.
Now the state government has declared that they will not implement NEP 2020. They want to bring a state level education policy. So our initiative was to come together and try to evolve a broad consensus. Meaning, what are our aspirations in the Karnataka education policy? What should be there? There, what points came was, first point is education should be equitable, meaning it should be available for all. And the fee in every college, the fee should be within the affordable limit. And education should be available for all. It should be universal. First point. Second point is it should create a scientific bent of mind, reasoning mind, questioning mind. Education should be scientific. And the third point was it should be secular, meaning religion is my personal affair. In education, in politics, religion should not come. There is no room for spiritualism in education. Education should be purely scientific, it should be secular. This is another point what it came.
MD of Falcon Group of Institutions, Abdul Subhan, raised concerns about the NEP's potential privatization impact, leading to costly changes that have negatively affected the younger generation, depriving them of previous benefits.
Civil society especially, which was welcomed by the government, where almost 3 ministers were present in the first session, and we had deliberated in detail with many academicians. We had many civil society members who came in and gave their inputs. What should be the nature of education and what should be the policy for the nation when it comes to education? How do we bring an inclusive education policy? How do we make sure that those who are left out in the system can be helped out through the national education policy, whichever is going to be reframed in Karnataka context? And moreover, the corporatization which is happening because of this NEP discussion and the kind of new system which they want to bring in the form of new foreign universities and many institutions which are public sector public institutions. They are converted into self-financing institutions. There are very many changes which have been brought in. These changes have costed dearly for the young generation, especially the students who had to leave their education because of the cost escalation. There are many who are not getting the benefits which they were earlier getting it. Moreover, both the ministers of education, primary and secondary education, higher education, both the ministers have assured that they will deliberate with our committee in making this Karnataka education policy.
Dean of Mount Carmel Schools, Michael Williams, spoke on the central government's strong saffron ideology and its persistence in implementing the NEP, and how it criticizes any non-saffron elements and labels it anti-national or foreign. He congratulated Karnataka government's ministers for introducing a more student-friendly policy.
This particular government has a brand of saffronization, has a paint box and a paintbrush where everything must be that same color. Anything out of that color does not fit and must be thrown out. It is called either anti-national, or it is called foreign, or it is called by so many other names if that color is not saffron. Similarly for education. Mao Zedong had said, give me your child when he's 3, I'll return him when he's 13, he'll be a communist for life. That is the same policy, that is the same fascist policy that Hitler and his men had, because education at the grassroots is what was needed to transform the very thinking of the next generation. That is the concept behind this entire move.
Many of them voiced their opinions against the NEP and shared their expectations from the state education policy that's yet to be implemented. They appreciated the government for embarking on a journey to formulate a state education policy that caters to the aspirations of Karnataka students and educators.